Hello and welcome back for another edition of London Direct. We're at that time of year when we're looking forward to the prospects of 2015, and I've been to the offices of FX Pro to discuss their outlook for next year. So let's turn our attention to 2015. There seems to be a consensus amongst the big investment banks and everything I read that 2015 is the year of the dollar, long the dollar. Surely that trade seems like overly crowded to me.
You could have, I mean, I'm laughing because that was the same 12 months ago.
Yeah.
The whole world and their wife were saying, you know, it's a no-brainer, the dollar's going to go higher, the Fed's. It didn't work out. For the first 7 months of the year, you saw the dollar actually move net lower on the dollar index and against a lot of other, currencies. So it's, if everyone's saying that, it makes you worried it's not going to be the case. I don't think it's that easy. Even during this period at the end of 2014, you've seen all the uncertainty. The dollar hasn't been rushing away, and I think that's interesting. It's been the yen that's actually doing the best in the last, couple of weeks when we've had all that turmoil in Russia. So I don't think the dollar is a no-brainer. I think subtly we will see dollar strength through the year, but it's going to be. It's difficult to say because it sounds like I'm copping out a very difficult year in terms of trends, and and you saw that 2014 as well. Nearly all the dollar strength came through in the third quarter. So FX markets never move in that sort of steady, sedate fashion that people expect or forecast. You may get from A to B, but between that you're going to go by, via M, Q, Z, and W at the same time, and that's the way FX markets work. So I don't really buy into that sort of, divergence trade, to be honest.
What about the yen? Does the safe haven trade still exist for the yen?
I think it's weak, despite the fact of what we've seen in the last week, where the yen has done well. We saw that push higher above 120 on dollar yen, and we've seen a very strong reversal downwards. So the yen's where I see the weakness coming through. I could even see it up to 135 on dollar yen. So that's probably the sort of boldest call on the majors, because I still see them pushing ahead with. We've got a new government in there, pushing ahead with further policy measures, and so I think it's interesting the yen has acted as a safe haven, because that's rather more the exception than the rule in the last 18 months, 2 years, let's say, where it's traditionally not acted in that same way that was expected it over the last 3 to 5 years.
Just generally speaking about the safe haven trade, is it still yen, gold, dollar, or is the FX markets and the markets just changed?
Things have changed a lot. I mean, we've moved so far away from the sort of risk on, risk off, and that sort of flow of risk appetite that sees the dollar gain, etc. It's got a lot harder, and I hate to say it, but it has. And even gold, at this point in time, it's very hard to see gold doing well at a time where the dollar is likely net during 2015 to move higher, and this, we are seeing relatively low inflation. So this sort of buy gold scenario, the world's falling apart, hasn't worked for 2 years now, and I don't see it necessarily turning around in 2015. So it's harder. So you will see the dollar gain. I think see your yen move away. The Swiss franc will still be under pressure, upward pressure, and I think it won't be surprising if we see some more policy action from the SNB in terms of putting some sort of negative rate structure in there to deter that as well. So it's going to be I think an overall tough year, and one which we won't see the Fed hike and we won't see the Bank of England hike, because once again we're expecting that recovery. We're looking ahead thinking, the recovery is just around the corner and things will right themselves, and I don't see that happening. A lot of other structural issues going along, which is sort of pushing even further into the future when we get to this new normal, as people like to call it.
We could probably talk about the euro for 48 hours and still not come to a conclusion, but can you sum up what you believe will be the theme for the euro coming up?
The thing for the euro will be QE, but QE not as we know it. So they are pushing for it. I would think more likely than not they will get some form of QE in Q1. But look where German 5 years is below 0.1%. 5 years in Italy, Spain below 1%, well below 1%. You have to argue how effective this will be, and will the money that's created, let's say, from buying bonds be going elsewhere into other assets, when many assets to varying degrees can be described as overvalued. It's not going to be the QE that we've seen elsewhere, and it's not going to push the currency down to the extent that people think it will, is my view. It's still traumatic, still difficult, but it's not going to be the sort of major sell of 2015, even though if they go ahead and do QE.
So if it's not the euro that's the major sell, will it be the commodity currencies like the Aussie dollar, as we see commodity prices coming under more and more pressure?
They will be. That was sort of my call of 2015, sort of weaker Aussie. It's only really come through in the sort of last few weeks, to be honest. So I think the Aussie will be under pressure. There's still some yield pickup there, but it's much thinner. The main rates at 2.5%. Sort of generally, in the post-crisis period, we had seen rates up sort of 4 3/4. So, the carry isn't there. So it's not the traditional carry currency we once thought it was. It has been less sensitive to the commodity prices, iron ore, etc. If you look at correlation between Aussie and iron ore, you think, well, the Aussie should be sort of the mid-70s. It's not. So it has a lot of resilience in there, but I still think it will be lower, probably around sort of the mid-70s level by the end of 2015.
Well, thank you to the guys at FX Pro. Stay tuned to Copy TV for more interviews, but from London, goodbye.